regarding the reservation policy, I think we have to go back and look into very seriously. Going back to backward or forward, or reservation of jobs and higher educations by defining the backward area, the tribe, and the forward. Yes, it is very interesting, and I thank and appreciate Dr. Chuluto for bringing his suggestions in our discussion, and it is well taken. It is good that all the honorable members and our officers and people in the galleries with our journalists, it is being brought to our knowledge, and we appreciate that it made us more aware and make us all responsible to see that we do maximum justice in reservation policy also, and also support the weaker section in our society. One thing I feel that I want to refer to and discuss is the Northeast Indigenous Peoples Organization. As mentioned by honorable speakers, some state like Tripura or even in Assam, the indigenous people are backfooted because the migrants are more than them and they have taken over the government also, or there are elected members in the house holding responsibilities. They are in real trouble. But because of that Bengal Eastern Frontier Regulation Act 1873, and to continue with that, Bengal Frontier Regulation of 1873 shall be enforced in Nagaland. That's why we are better protected. Plus, Bengal Regulation Act is explicitly said that no outsiders, no non-indigenous can have land and immovable properties. Now you think of America, you see, if, say today, Donald Trump or Obama, all these people are also migrants to America, from Europe, from elsewhere. It's a country of migrants. And they are not indigenous. Mind you, I tell you, they are not indigenous. In Nagaland, we are recognizing only people who are known as indigenous in the country. We can consider. But that 1970, I don't know what that notification is, but if we want to, say example, Nepalis, Gorkhas, because they're here for a long time, how can you make them indigenous? Are they indigenous in India? Are they indigenous in their original kingdom of Nepal? I'm not against anybody, but our government, the past governments, if the officers did not think seriously, the indigenous is different, and other migrants who come and sit with us as permanent residents are different. You see, 60 house MLA, only one seat is open for any Indian citizen. 59 is reserved for indigenous inhabitants of Nagaland. Nagas, inhabitants of Nagaland. And therefore, don't take the indigenous very casually. When we said the recognized tribe of Nagas, RIN, Registration of Indigenous Inhabitants of Nagaland, we have set up a committee. And who are the authorities? It is the village council. And his head GB, a church leader, a general secretary, and there is a board. They have to identify who is indigenous, who is not indigenous, who is native of that village. It is not the state government, nor it is an administrator. It is the village council who can certify that he is native of that village. Because I know everybody, everybody knows me, and I know everybody. So I think we should not be confused. I'll come back later to that. I have been carried away. I want to come back to that reservation area. In this reservation of jobs or studies, we made backward reservation. And therefore, what Dr. Tiludo had brought up, it's a real mind opening. It's things to really appreciate for speaking out his mind. To make two categories. But I would like to highlight, since the state government had earlier also come up with so many committees, and government is receptive to the concern of any issues raised by the tribal hosts, civil society, or our honorable members. In order to examine these issues comprehensively, earlier the state government has constituted various committees at different stages. To include, let me mention few. Bado Committee in 2005, Gavitsada Committee in 2008, and Temjentoi Committee, which examined and recommendations was given, and also again Gavitsada Committee in 2010. At present, the cabinet also had set up a cabinet subcommittee under the chairmanship of Honorable Deputy Chief Minister Sri Y. Patel to examine the reservation policy of the state government, and the committee submit its report on October 2021, broadly recommending that a comprehensive review of the state reservation policy should be done on the basis of 2021. But you know that census 2021 has not come. Our latest is 2011. And we have seen the variation of 2001 and 2011, which has created a history in the census in the country. And the reservation policies, some views are given at this presence by a group of tribal leaders, and also the government feel that we are taking everything, and then even more pressure was given for review was the Cognac Union, because they are also one of the largest tribe, and they are the most deprived tribe, because they have to wait for the roster to reach them. And so even the smallest tribe get roster, they get the same number of that roster, tribe-wise, not population ratio. And so they are facing problem. And like many issues are taken up. So while appreciating, we will go into all these things, and a good suggestion can be taken up. And as stated, on the demand of many agencies, including some tribal hosts, we have set up a commission to look into all these grievances. In some of my statements in a public address, I mentioned that it would be good if we can do the administration reform and our backward quotas, reservation also together, a whole Nagaland, not at piecemeal. That was our desire. But it is not a government decision, it is my opinion. But anyway, that can be worked out. So that should not be an issue.